Today on the channel, the best of 2023 videos continue. In today's video, we've talked about all these big companies. Now we're diving into some of the smaller companies as we're doing my top 10 miscellaneous action figures of 2023.
And the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Here and welcome back to the channel for another best of 2023 countdown top 10 video. In today's video we got something entirely different, as we've talked about a bunch of different toy lines that we unbox and collect here on this very YouTube channel. Well, today's video is a little bit something different. It's about some of these smaller things, maybe some of those lines I just dabble in. It's not all encompassing like a WWE Elite line or a G.I. Joe Classified Series line. It's a little bit of everything else, all points in between. And these are my top 10 figures that really didn't fit into a bucket list, as there is some great figures coming with smaller companies, third-party companies, things like that in 2023 and beyond, and they've really moved the needle the last couple of years. And some of these figures you can put up against the big boys, and a lot of these will surpass the big boys out there. So a lot of fun in this countdown list, a very varied list, a very different list than some of the other ones, but at the end of the day, it's still a top 10 list, and we're going to do this video like we do all the other countdown lists. We're going to start at number 10, work our way to number 1, number 1 being my absolute favorite. I'm going to ask you guys, make sure you put your list in the comments down below, because this is my list. Put your list in the comments. So without further ado, let's kick it off at number 10. We begin the countdown at number 10, and the number 10 figure comes from a toy line that really broke my heart in 2023. As you guys remember, 2021, 2022 on the channel, we were unboxing this toy line fairly regularly. Now, it really is few and far between. We don't do a ton of unboxings of this toy line anymore. What are we talking about? Well, it's going to Hasbro. It's going to the Star Wars Black Series. And we got coming in at number 10, we got a hairy bipedal creature, we got a Wookiee, we got a Black Chrysanthemum. Now, Black Chrysanthemum, a big, mean, powerful Wookiee. When we first saw him in the Book of Boba Fett, I said, give me that action figure. And we did finally get this in 2023. Sure did take a long time, but we did get him. And I gotta say, an amazing figure, a good figure, coming in at number 10. However, to me, I said it in the review, I know some people don't agree with it, but I would have liked to seen him a little bit bigger. It is what you think out there. It just depends. Do you want him bigger? Do you want him smaller? Choose your own adventure. For me personally, would have liked to seen him a little bit bigger, but man, he is a cool Wookiee, and by all means, for me, the best Star Wars Black Series figure of 2023, hands down. A must-have, old Black Chrysanthemum coming in at number 10. Next up in the number 9 spot comes to us from a toy line that I started collecting maybe 2 years ago, and at this point, I'm dabbling. I'm almost fully complete. We'll see what happens in 2024 as this line starts to expand, and apparently this line will begin being sold at Walmart stores. So quite the breakthrough with this toy line. And what are we talking about? Well, we're talking about Action Force, we're talking about Valerse, and we're talking about specifically the Trigger figure here at number 9. Of course, Trigger looking like a basic stereotype of someone in the army in this day and age is kind of what he looks like here. But man, the detail, the effects, the customability on these ones, absolutely next level from the Valerse Action Force, myself included, but a lot of people are like G.I. Joe Classified, G.I. Joe Classified, and I am a G.I. Joe guy through and through. I love the history, I love the nostalgia, the childhood. It's tough to get jazzed up about new invented characters in your older age. When you're a kid, it's all, you're all in, and you have nostalgia. Nobody really has nostalgia for the action figure or Action Force figures. Now, that's not saying they're bad figures, it's just there's no nostalgia there, but they're building it. They're building stories with comic books, things like that. File cards, one thing the Classified Series is really missing, and this Trigger is a perfect representation of those action figures. A very fun one, a great one that you can mix in with your Joe team if you want to, or separate with an Action Force shelf if you want to do that as well. Just a great figure is this Trigger, and one of the best figures, of course, for this year. Now, some people did get this at the end of last year. I did not get mine till this year, so I'm counted this year, but some people might have had it on their best of last year. I just didn't get it in time. That's the way it goes. It's my list once again, but looking very, very good here is this Trigger figure from the Valerse Action Force at number 9. Next up at the number 8 spot is a brand new toy line that debuted in 2023. And it's already stole a heck of a lot of hearts. I wouldn't say it's quite stole my heart yet. However, it might be on its way. We'll see what happens. As of right now, I'm dabbling in this line, and that's exactly what I did right here. As I dabbled, this is the only one I ordered from the brand new Cosmic Legions line. It is Kragnar. And there's something about a big figure, you know me, but this one looks very, very cool. And just like Mythic Legions, Cosmic Legions, very, very customizable. You can have him with 2 arms, you can have him with 4 arms, heck, you can have him with no arms if you want to. Different heads on this guy. Truly almost an army builder because you can really do this many different ways. Just a beautiful hunk of plastic, and you know me, I'm a sucker for a big figure, a big alien, a big brute, and that's exactly what we got here with this Kragnar figure. It'll be interesting to see where Cosmic Legions goes. There is a couple of figures I have on my want list, so hopefully I will get those in 2024. But this one, I was a day 1 pre-order for me. Had to have Kragnar in my collection, and that's why he's coming in hot at number 8. Next up in the top 10 countdown, number 7. And number 7 comes from a toy line. I said, I can't collect this line. I can't collect this line. Then, one day out of the blue, our friends over at Entertainment Earth use discount code Kyle. Save yourself 10% all in-stock items. Anything over $79 does ship free. Came in hot with a hot sale. I could not pass this up. Being on sale, saving 10%, getting free shipping. It put my toe in the water, and now I'm really saying, you know what? I think I might need all of these figures. What is it coming in at number 7? Well, we go to Mezco. We go to the G.I. Joe line. Now, G.I. Joe Classified is enough for a lot of people, but some of us say, you know what? I need more Joes in my life. I need more Destro in my life. And this, of course, does fit with the classified figures. It's in scale perfectly with those, but it's just more detailed. More weapons, more heads, more hands, soft goods clothes, just an all-timer. And if you're familiar with Mezco figures, you know what a good job they do with those figures. And to see them making the Joe brand, oh my gosh, it's almost too much for the wallet. Now, I'm probably going to track down Storm Shadow and Snake Eyes. They were coming soon. I did not order Roadblock. I figured I'd pick it up, but it looks like he's almost sold out everywhere. I got to get the Roadblock eventually. Can't wait for the day they have Flint. We know Duke's coming, but man, this Mezco line, an all-timer, an amazing figure, and Destro coming in at number 7 in my top 10 list. At the number 6 spot, we got a little repeat piece of business here in the countdown, as number 6 comes to us once again from the Action Force Valerse brand. We're going to Pandora, but we're getting the bloody version of Pandora. An all-time great figure. I was blown away with the regular, even more blown away with the bloody variant edition that came out a little bit later. Something about blood splatter in the hair and on the face just brings this one to the proverbial next level. Of course, all the customability you would ever want. Of course, that's a hallmark of the Action Force brand. Beautiful head sculpt on this one. Love the crazy hair. Love the tattoo in the back of the head. Just an absolute all-timer. And then you add that Glasgow smile up there. There's a lot going on with this figure, and it is very cool and very awesome. Looks like she should be a member of the Dreadnoks fighting it out with Zorana. Who knows what she's up to, but an all-timer of a figure, one that blew me away in 2023, and that's why she's coming in at number 6 in my top 10 list. We're at the halfway point. Make sure you put your list in the comments down below. But the number 5 selection here could be the sleeper toy line of the year this year in 2023, as nobody expected this line to be as good as it is. And I don't know if it should be as good as it deserves to be right here, as this is an amazing figure from an amazing line that's just getting off the ground. So if you want to get aboard the train, now is the time. But we're going to Jada Toys. We're going to Street Fighter. We're going to Ryu. Yeah, you know what it goes. We've talked about it enough times, but we do got him this year. We've got 3 different versions as of right now. There's a Paul Mart Store exclusive, a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, and a regular exclusive. Just an all-timer. The way these joints move and feel, the way these figures look, way better than I would have ever gave them credit to be. You know, we've unboxed some Jada Toy figures, and Jada Toy is usually known for their automobiles and cars and die-cast, things like that. Just all of a sudden starting the last couple of years to get into action figures and doing an amazing job with their cereal line, their Chester Cheetahs, Street Fighter, even some Universal Monsters that we've taken a look at the channel. Just absolutely amazing, and I am very excited to see where this Street Fighter line goes, as I've decided, hey, I'm out of the Storm collectible Street Fighter game. I'm all in over here on the Jada Toys one. So number 5, coming in hot, Jada Toys Street Fighter. This all of a sudden as we are down to the final 4 here, and 4 figures that are just absolutely amazing figures that just don't quite fit into any other boxes. That's why they're part of this miscellaneous countdown. But number 4, we go to a line that I would love to be a completist in. I would love to get every figures. It's just not financially possible, but I'm dabbling, and I'm paying attention. And I have to imagine next year we'll have some other figures from this line in the countdown. But coming in at number 4, it is the giant half army builder from the Mythic Legions line, a part of the deluxe kit here. Now you can always choose your adventure as the shield just kind of falls apart. Plug and play action going on. But the horns and all this kind of stuff with this one are absolutely breathtaking. The way you can customize, of course, like Cosmic Legions, the Mythic Legions, and that's exactly what I did here with this giant half builder. I turned him into a modern day Zakk Wylde. That's what he reminds me of. Good friend of the channel, Zakk Wylde, looking amazing right here. Love a giant, love a big figure, love a berserker, and that's exactly what we got at number 4 from the Mythic Legions line. Like I said, Mythic Legions, so many good figures, just so little income to buy them all, but man, oh man, things like this just make you want to be all in on the line. Just an absolute must-have figure here, and that's why he's coming in at number 4. Down to the final 3, and the number 3 selection was one I took an early chance on. I believe this was a Big Bad Toy Store exclusive, or at least one version was a Big Bad Toy Store exclusive. I took a chance and said, man, this looks cool. I love bipedal creatures, not necessarily hairy in this instance here, but I had to take a chance on it, and man, I'm glad I did, as this one's pretty awesome. From Foray Toys, we've got Crocker, of course, an homage to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, of course, leather head, but man, oh man, is this big Croc look absolutely amazing. The big jaw that moves, the big scaly skin, you even got a shirt over the top. Just a lot to like about this bad boy here. A big, big chunk of plastic that looks very cool, very intimidating, and can fit anywhere you want it to. Put it with your Mythic Legions, put it with your McFarlane, put it with your Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Choose your own adventure, but Crocker deserved a spot on this list. Just an amazing figure, and that's why he's coming in at number 3. Down to the final 2, and the number 2 selection was dangerously close to number 1. A lot of these best of lists, man, it goes back and forth, and very, very close, because number 2, playing a lot of hits for me, it is a hairy bipedal creature. Once again, we do go to Foray Toys. We go to old veteran. We go to veteran William. We go to a hairy bipedal creature. We go to a werewolf. Oh my gosh, so scary here. But a 3-in-1 figure. If this wasn't so expensive, I'd buy all 3 editions of it. As you can have him in full-on kind of army garb with chomping on a cigar like a young Arnold Schwarzenegger. Or you can have him go full werewolf. You never go full werewolf unless you're veteran William right here. But looking like he stepped out of Dog Soldiers almost. One of my favorite werewolf movies of all time. Just an absolute awesome figure, and one I'm very glad, much like Crocker, I decided to take a chance on. I just absolutely love the looks of this figure. Very fun, very customizable, just an all-around beautiful, beautiful piece of plastic, and that's why Veteran Williams comes in at number 2 in my top 10 list. Here we are, we're at the top spot, the number 1 miscellaneous figure of 2023. Of course, you made it this far. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to put your list in the comments down below. And I guess these miscellaneous ones really could be anything depending what you collect. So I guess it's up to personal preference in this video especially. But the number 1 spot comes for me is one that stole my heart very early in the year. This is one I got actually as a gift from good friend of the channel, long-time follower of the channel. I think basically day 1, maybe day 2. Good old Sambro out there. He actually sent me this as a gift. I believe it was a birthday gift this year in 2023, and man, did this blow me away. I could not believe how cool this figure was. It was one I regretted passing on. I was on the fence about it. I ended, of course, got it here, and I'm glad I did, because this became the number 1 figure of 2023 in the miscellaneous category for me. It does come from Loose Collector. It's a big chunk of plastic. It is Mr. Hyde. How cool is this thing? A big, hulked up, just a mass of plastic, vein and muscle upon vein and muscle. Absolutely amazing. Of course, comes with different heads. So you got 2 different heads, a hat that's removable. You got a big torn shirt over the top. But at the end of the day, a beautiful, big figure that moves very freely, very beautiful joint movement, very tight but easy to move, just an absolute majestic piece of plastic at the end of the day. And Mr. Hyde, never would have guessed this would be my favorite figure of the year, but here we are, an absolute game changer, a must-have figure if you ask me, is the Loose Collector Mr. Hyde, coming in at the #1 spot. So there it is, the top 10 miscellaneous figures of 2023 as voted by me. Once again, put your list in the comments down below. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the old notification bell, and don't forget about Patreon for early access to videos like this and videos from both YouTube channels. They all head over to Patreon amongst many other things over on Patreon. And Patreon, the best way to support the channel. You can also support the channel at ProWrestlingTees.com, search Kyle Peterson, and don't forget social media. SirPaul64 on the X, the _Kyle_Peterson on Threads, and of course on Instagram. So, for the great Mr. Hyde and miscellaneous figures everywhere, I am Kyle. See you guys all real soon.